Good morning, YouTube. Today we are here at Fireheart Games with Alfredo fettuccine pasta, and we have a kind of a unique deck here. What do we have here today?
I have Toons to show you guys today.
Toons, awesome. Well, let's get in the profile and then tell us a little bit about why you picked Toons after we're done.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.
So, just for starters on the structure of this deck, you use obviously Toons and whatnot, but the main priority, in my opinion, of the deck is to just attack your opponent directly and stall for as long as possible. And you'll see what I mean here in a bit. So 3 ofs, you're going to run 3 of Toon Blackluster Soldier. Probably one of the best cards in the deck, in my opinion. One of the newer cards for the deck. And basically the whole theme of the deck is Kingdoms on the field. You can attack directly, and Kingdom protects your monsters as well. So this has the added utility that instead of attacking for the turn, it can actually banish a card instead, which is super good. It just reminds me of like, you know, Envoy a little bit, but it does work. Highest attack Toon monster that we have in the deck, so we run 3 of this. Awesome. Next best Toon card, in my opinion, is Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Red Eyes Toon Dragon is actually really good in utility in the way that if you special summon this card, I believe it's just summon. It's just an effect that you can special summon one other Toon that's in your hand. Which, I mean, some of the Toons, I mean, a little bit harder to summon out just by default. But with this iteration of the deck with Red Eyes in it, it just allows you to special summon a lot more Toon monsters with that in mind. So we run 3 of Red Eyes Toon Dragon. Additionally, the only other 3 of Toon monster that we run is Toon Mermaid. Toon Mermaid, again, just special summoning her out, having a 4 on the field. I mean, you do have to pay 500 life points to attack with her, which, you know, kind of sucks, but in return, you are doing 1,400 damage, potentially directly to someone. But the main utility of it, honestly, is just special summoning and using it as rank 4 fodder or just tribute fodder in general. I actually don't have Totally Awesome, or else you'd do Bahamut Shark and the Totally Awesome combo with this, and that's insane too. But easy special summon, and yeah, it's just super easy to summon, so we run 3. The honorable mention Toon monster in this deck is the Blackstone of Legend. This will crank out your Red Eyes Dragon, and you'll be able to special summon Toons that are in your hand. This is honestly the best normal summon of the deck. With everything in mind, you do have to wait a turn before it attacks, or any of your Toon monsters attack. So, I mean, sitting on this, normal summoning it, and then special summoning Red Eyes, and then special summoning another Toon is really good. It's just, it comes in super handy. So yeah, honorable Toon mention. It's the only 3 of the monster that we actually use in the deck.
And even recycle the Red Eyes too. That's cool.
Absolutely. Adds the recyclability to it. So the only other 2 of that we play in the deck is Toon Dark Magician. This card's actually pretty insane. If I had a 3rd copy, I'd probably run 3 copies of this. Online, I've tested 2, and 2 works really good. 3, in my opinion, gets a little cloggy. But basically, if it's special summoned, you can discard a Toon monster to either add a Toon spell or trap from your deck, or you can special summon a Toon monster from your deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. This is super clutch because, and you'll see with Toon Page Flip, another recent arrival with Toon Chaos, you special summon this out, or you select it as part of your 3 monsters that you can special summon, and regardless, you end up special summoning whatever you want if this is special summoned and you have a Toon monster or a Toon card in your hand. Super clutch, and also I love the artwork for Toon Dark Magician. I'm a Dark Magician fanboy, so it works out. One of the Toon monsters, we have 1 Toon Cyber Dragon. Again, I mean, there's not a certain, like, this deck can go 1st or 2nd. It honestly doesn't matter. But it's super nice to get a free Toon monster just in case your opponent has a card and you don't. It's just super clutch in that manner. Another one of that we play is 1 Toon Mass Sorcerer. Toon Mass Sorcerer, again, you have to wait a turn to attack with the Toon monsters. If you attack with this, you actually draw a card, so it's not bad to summon out. I mean, if it's a normal summon, it's a normal summon. Like, I won't complain if I have Red Eyes, this in hand, and special summon this, wait a turn, and, you know, potentially protect it with Kingdom. Like, it's always good to draw a card, so I always do 1 of this. And the last 1 of in the monsters is Toon Gemini Elf. Again, yeah, you wait a turn, but when you do attack with the monster, it actually discards a card in your opponent's hand, which, I mean, it's honestly, like, when it comes down to the grind game, I mean, if your opponent only has a couple cards in their hand, and you make them discard, you actually put them in a really tough position. With that in mind, so
I think I got that super rare.
Yeah, I got that, dude. I have this since like middle school or something. It's actually pretty insane.
It's a not cheap card.
No, it's not at all actually. Moving on to the spells, kind of a weird flex. I don't actually have 2 other kingdoms. Thank you so much for providing the other kingdom, man. I appreciate it. So 3 Toon kingdoms. This is honestly the bread and butter of the whole deck. Like, it's an amazing deck, don't get me wrong. I've played the deck with Toon Worlds, and it's just not the same with the added protection with Toon Kingdom. It's insanely good with Toon Kingdom. Banishing 3 to play it is fine. Banishing a card face down to protect your Toon monsters from destruction in general, broken. And I believe they can be targeted as well. Yeah, so, I mean, this card just makes the whole deck work, and it adds so much more to like the pacing of Toons. It's so good. This is why this card's expensive right now, but I think this card is for sure a 3 of. I mean, I don't think it's even a question at this point. Other 3 ofs that we play is 3 Toon Bookmark. Again, all the new Toon Chaos support is super awesome. I think it's kind of whack they didn't reprint Toon Kingdom, but I understand why, because of the collection that we're getting here shortly.
Yeah,
but anyway,
frustrating.
Yeah, it's super. I mean, how do you name it Toon Kingdom, or I'm sorry, Toon Chaos, and not have Toon Kingdom reprint?
Yeah.
Like, whatever. I appreciate the new support though.
Yeah.
Toon Bookmark is a searcher, adds a Toon World or a card that specifically lists Toon World on the card. So a lot of your spells and traps, actually the majority, if not all of them, is searchable from this, which is super clutch. And you can banish this from your graveyard and actually protect Toon Kingdom once per turn, which is actually just super good. Like,
what I needed.
Hey, like, exactly, like, the new support added a lot more pacing to this deck that I feel like can make it, like, pretty rogue, honestly. But yeah, another 3 of that we play is Toon Table of Contents.
It's one of the best search cards in the game.
Exactly.
Really.
I mean, add a Toon card. I mean, it's just... the card kind of speaks for itself. You search basically any other card that's in your deck right now.
Including itself.
Including itself. Including itself, absolutely. Deck thinning at its best. The other new 3 of that we play is Toon Page Flip. This card's honestly just... it's awesome. I mean... it added a lot to the game, or to the deck specifically, like special summoning 1 Toon, revealing 3, and just randomly special summoning 1. I think that's just insane. And I love this card for end phase on your opponent's turn, because once everything's said and done, spell and trap removal is set, and you can just end phase this. And the cool thing is, if you do this on your opponent's turn, that's technically a turn. So at the end of their turn, you can attack at the beginning of your turn. Mm-hmm. So end phasing with this is super clutch, and I 100% recommend doing it on your opponent's end phase. But anyway, yeah, super good card. The last 3 of that's not a specific Toon or Toon card that we play is 3 Pot of Extravagance. You don't always go into your extra deck, and you'll kind of see that a lot of it's like rank 4s, some 7s, and some links. You don't necessarily have to go into your extra deck, so you can play this card. And there's nothing else in the deck that allows you to draw other than Toon Mass Sorcerer. So, I mean, realistically speaking, this is a free +2 regardless. So, Pot of Extravagance. And the reprints are clutch, so I got those as soon as possible. Lastly, I mean, just last couple of cards, or spell cards that I play. 2 Forbidden Droplet. This card's insane right now. I would have a 3rd if I'd be able to have a 3rd right now. I traded for 1 and bought the other, so I mean, super clutch card. I mean, it's, again, just it adds a little meta edge to everything you play it in, so it's super cool. Lastly, we have a couple 1-ofs for spells. Triple Tactic Talents. Again, if I had more, I'd probably play 2 of this and Droplets. If I had a playset of Droplets, I'd probably play Droplets. Super clutch card. A lot of interaction. Hand traps or any monster interactions like that on your turn, like free draw or free mind control or free discard. I mean, it's just super good. Lastly, we have a couple 1-ofs for just Toon cards in general. We have Toon Rollback, lets you swing twice at your opponent, which could mean game a lot of the times for certain people. Comic Hand, super clutch card. I mean, it's a mind control, and then that card can attack directly like a Toon monster would, so it's just super cool. And lastly, for the traps, we have Toon Briefcase, which is Toon Briefcase. Shuffles 1 back when your opponent summons 1. Toon Mask, which, I mean, comes in, I mean, you just, whatever you special summon from this is cool. And then your spell and trap and monster effect, negation is Toon Terror. Onto the extra deck.
Awesome.
We have just some generic Link 2s. I mean, you have Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Cerberus, and Nightmare Unicorn. I mean, again, you don't really go into your extra deck, but the utility of having these in there just in case you do, I mean, super clutch. Other than that, you'd play Blackluster Soldier of Chaos. I mean, again, we run a lot of high-level monsters. You can eventually get away with just linking off a lot of your higher-level tunes and then going into this. Not a bad idea. Borload and Boral Sword just to have the package with it.
All right.
So that's your links. XYZs. I'm old school, so some of these cards people probably don't play anymore, but hey, whatever. Abyss Dweller, super clutch. Again, we have Mermaid. If I had a totally awesome, I have the Behemoth Shark. If I had a totally awesome, I'd 100% put this in this deck. Spell and trap removal again. Tornado Dragon, Baguska, number 60. My favorite card in the game, Gaga Cowboy. This comes in actually a lot more handy than people give it credit for.
Oh yeah.
Dracossack.
No, that's fine.
Red Eyes. This comes in clutch. I've lost to this card multiple times now. Weird. I wonder who played this against me. I wonder who played 2 of these against me. Oh, I guess I play another Cowboy. That's weird. That probably shouldn't be in there. But anyway, the last super big brain tech. Honestly, I thought of this the other day and I played it online. Is Mega Fleet. We do play one Cyber Dragon. You never know when it's going to come up, and I mean it's just more utility to it. So that's all for the extra deck. And yeah, that's my just my play on tunes, I suppose.
So what made you decide to play tunes?
So honestly, I've been a pretty big fan of Pegasus. Like just the memes that erupt from Pegasus is just a lot of fun. Honestly, the show I was a big fan of just Toon World. Just having Toon versions of regular cards, like the artwork is super cool. When Toon Blackluster Soldier was announced and the artwork was announced, I just fell in love with the archetype again, and I just had to make him again for sure. And I played tunes and speed duels too, so I just had the majority of the stuff already, so I just played that instead. So, yeah.
Fair enough. All right, any shout outs you want to make?
Shout outs to everybody who helped me get the cards. I mean, Luis, you man, I appreciate it. I guess yeah, that's about it. So,
all right, thank you, appreciate it.
No problem, man.
Bye.